help Cows for Kids raise $1 million for New Avenues for Youth and Trillium Family Services. Log on to cowsforkids.com and bid today. Sponsored by News Channel 8. Time for a new car? We'll help you find the one you want. Even sell your old one. Cars.com. Car shopping just got fun. Shop Russ Auto on Cars.com.
Why now more than ever, home is where the money is, how the WorldCom scandal may affect your investments and phone service, and the tough task of keeping America's seaports safe from terrorists. Well, I'm Consuelo Mackel of those stories, plus the investment pick of the week on this edition of the Wall Street Journal Report.
Revelations that WorldCom has misaccounted $3.4 billion is outrageous.
It seems the scandals are never ending. This week, the outrage is directed at WorldCom. The parent company of America's second largest long-distance carrier admits it falsely accounted for more than $3 billion of expenses this year and last, causing it to show profits instead of losses. Then troubled office equipment maker Xerox uncovered a $2 billion revenue gap in its books over 5 years. Xerox was already fined once for improper accounting. And more questions about Martha Stewart sent her company stock to all-time lows. The Wall Street Journal reports prosecutors are probing whether she lied to officials about her reasons for selling ImClone Systems stock, sold the day before the biotech company publicly announced an unfavorable decision from the FDA. It is a charge Stewart denies. These ongoing controversies weighed on the market until the government reported the economy raced ahead at a 6.1% clip in the first quarter. Nonetheless, the markets finished the first half of the year with their worst decline since 1974. Such is not the case for the biggest investment most of us make, our homes. New homes are selling at a record pace, and the median price of an existing home is at a record $154,000. Low inflation and low interest rates get much of the credit. 30-year mortgage rates fell to 6.55% this week. But according to the investment firm ISI Group, there is another catalyst. More investors are shifting their portfolios to real estate.
There are good reasons for investors to shift their portfolios to real estate when the stock market is declining and other assets are not performing very well.
ISI notes that considering what's been going on in the market, and this chart says it all, residential real estate looks much more attractive to many people than going back to the NASDAQ, for instance. According to ISI, there are numerous reasons individuals are choosing homes as an investment strategy right now and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. Home prices keep going up as alternatives, stocks, bonds, and cash, appear increasingly unattractive. More individuals are viewing investing in homes as the fourth asset class, along with cash, bonds, and stocks. Housing has a number of attractive points. Mortgage rates are tax deductible. Capital gains are limited. The refinancing option, no margin calls, huge leverage is possible, you can live in it, and it's a lot more fun than a 401k. ISI also points out that financing is easy in general, and in particular the GSEs, government-sponsored enterprises like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, provide unique and unlimited resources. And finally, the demand for housing is good. Immigration, a rising birth rate, and demand for second homes are occurring at the same time that supply is somewhat limited by location and zoning. But what about fears of a housing bubble? ISI's mayor says so far they are not worried.
We at ISI don't believe that we're in a housing bubble yet because the tremendous acceleration in house prices was really seen on only the coast and not so much across all regions of the United States. At the same time, housing affordability seems to be near record highs across the entire United States. So at this point, it's not a housing bubble.
Well, a new report by Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies seems to agree. It says even if there is a downturn in the housing market, it won't last for long because demand will stay higher than supply. Whether there is too much supply in the telecommunications business, the accounting fraud at WorldCom is not the only problem. The 90s boom in telecom is going bust, and it has huge implications for phone customers as well as for investors. Joining me from Washington is Scott Cleland, CEO of the independent research firm, the Precursor Group. Scott, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Fraud aside, in a nutshell, what went wrong with WorldCom?
Well, WorldCom was a acquisition machine, and they acquired over 60 companies. They were a momentum growth stock. And when they couldn't buy any more companies after the Sprint merger was blocked, essentially they had to account for themselves in a normal way. They no longer had acquisitions to hide their growth. And so they started cooking the books.
Okay, now here we are, 18 years after the government forced the breakup of AT&T because it had a monopoly over phone service and allegedly had too much power. Where are we now as an industry 18 years later?
Well, we have a very ambitious experiment to see whether competition can work in telecommunications. Traditionally, it was a monopoly because we thought there were monopoly economics, and now we're seeing that it's going to be very difficult in this competitive environment for many companies to make a living or make a profit in telecom.
So for customers, we have more competition, but should we be thinking about switching carriers, for instance? I mean, are a number of phone companies in deep financial trouble?
Many are. Under our analysis, there's 23 of the top 29 telecommunications companies are in trouble, are at risk of bankruptcy. And so for consumers, I don't think they should be panicked. I think just because the company is going bankrupt, it doesn't necessarily mean their service would be cut off. But the quality of U.S. telecommunications, I believe, will deteriorate over time.
What about investors? AT&T, of course, was once the most widely held stock in America. Telecom has suffered along with tech, if not more than tech.
Well, telecom investors have taken a bath and will continue to take a bath. This is a sectoral shift. This is something we've never seen before, a perfect storm of changes. We have data communications that's coming in, wireless competition, wireline competition. It's all coming together in a perfect storm that is imploding the telecom sector's revenues.
And how much longer is this perfect storm going to last?
For the foreseeable future. It's not a short-term event. This is something a couple of years or so.
All right,
or more.
Scott Cleland, I'm sure we'll be talking to you again then.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Scott Cleland is the CEO of the Precursor Group. Well, riding the rails, the blood supply, and the 4th of July are all in the news this week, and we're going to turn to Scott Cohn for this week's business wrap-up. Scott.
Thank you, Consuelo. The Bush administration is stepping in to the tune of $100 million to help keep Amtrak running. Amtrak threatened to shut down, saying it needs $200 million to stay alive through September. The cash infusion will keep it running only through August, and congressional approval for the rest is not assured, keeping 65,000 riders a day at risk. Growing evidence that there is no link between birth control pills and breast cancer. The Centers for Disease Control found no increase of risk among the nearly 10,000 women studied, not even with a family history of the disease. The nation's blood supply has reached its lowest level in decades. Many facilities are down to a one-day supply or less, causing surgeries to be postponed. Experts blame new FDA regulations and compassion fatigue after a burst of donations after 9/11. And this week, the Consumer Product Safety Commission reports its annual fireworks warnings. An estimated 11,000 people, half under the age of 15, ended up in emergency rooms from fireworks in 2000. At least some types of fireworks are legal in 33 states, so please, if you live there, be careful. Consuelo?
Thank you, Scott. I will. Thanks very much. Well, hopefully the investment pick of the week will add some fireworks to your portfolio. But first, stopping terrorists from shipping weapons into America.
If I were a terrorist looking for a way to get a weapon of mass destruction into the United States, those cargo containers would be a very attractive alternative.
We'll show you what's being done to keep weapons out of cargo and the country.
We work for the investor, trying to pit which pharmaceutical companies are going to be winning. I'm wondering what the inventory trends look like. I'm a licensed physician, and I understand the clinical trials process, how the FDA works. Towards prevention, or are you going more towards treatment? It's an interesting time for the pharmaceutical sector right now. With the advances in science, I think that the prospects look very good. Prudential has a 3-tiered rating system, and being able to issue a buy, hold, or sell rating makes me feel uninhibited.
Want a close shave while avoiding razor burn? The new Extreme 3 from Schick balances 3 blades on a central pivot for a close, comfortable shave. Extreme 3. Get close, not burned. Problem with razor burn? The new Extreme 3 from Schick balances 3 blades on a central pivot for a close, comfortable shave. Extreme 3. Get close, not burned.
love the smell and taste of food cooked on an open wood fire, and I love my gas grills. But until I added smoke and barbecue, there was something missing. The pellets are a blend of all natural woods. Put some in a foil pouch like this and drop it near the flame. Smoke and barbecue gives that real wood fire flavor. My family loves smoke and barbecue.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and so do my neighbors. I just wish they'd get their own.
Where there's smoke and barbecue, there's real flavor.
Joe Coruscant at Premier Auto Group directs his latest masterpiece at Beaverton Lincoln Mercury.
This scene calls for huge savings of all new Lincolns and Mercury. And action!
Get $8,000 off MSRP on all 2002 Lincoln LSs.
Fabulous! Give me more!
2002 Lincoln Town Cars, Ford, just $29,988. And all 2002 Mountaineers in stock are $7,000 off MSRP.
Brilliant! I smell Oscar!
Now showing at Beaverton Lincoln Mercury on Canyon Road in Beaverton.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Consuelo Mack. In this week's cover story, port security. Earlier this week, President Bush announced a plan to improve security at the nation's seaports, and he put more than $93 million in federal cash behind it. Scott Wapner reports on what the government is doing to keep our ports secure.
With more than 6,000 cargo containers arriving daily from around the globe, the Port of New York, New Jersey is one of the busiest in the world and one of the toughest to secure.
Is it possible for somebody to slip through or somebody to slip weapons of mass destruction through?
The way the system is set up is reading what's on the manifest.
Every merchant ship entering a U.S. seaport must register a manifest detailing its crew and cargo 96 hours prior to arrival. It's then scrutinized by government computers. The problem is the manifests aren't always accurate. That's why U.S. Customs Inspector Mike Kessler and his four-man contraband evaluation team, or SET, the only one of its kind in the country, must randomly open and physically inspect thousands of the more than 1.7 million containers unloaded at the port each year, looking for the unusual.
Why'd you pick this specific container?
This one had a seal, two different color seal. The plastic sheeting was broken and it was cut.
So you saw that on the outside?
On the outside of the container. As they were doing a walkthrough.
Just a random walkthrough. It just
random walkthrough, just happened to see it, open it up. Somebody either put something in or took something out.
While some searches have turned up drugs and other illegal contraband, the majority find nothing wrong.
This is all wood, okay?
But others, like the one revealing the broken seal, aren't as immediately obvious.
So this could be as something as just a simple thing of a different color wrapping on that seal, or it could be something more serious.
It could be something as simple as that, but I don't want to take a chance. I want to take a look at it.
That closer look happens inside a nearby warehouse, where the containers are screened by a high-tech machine called VACUS, the Vehicle and Container Inspection System. It uses a high-powered laser beam to shoot straight through the container, searching for anomalies. The contents are displayed on a computer screen where Customs Officer Paul Russell can look for any problems.
We're thinning out the commodity almost to where it's nothing. If there was any type of obstructions in there or differences, you would see it.
The cargo is manipulated to change its size, shape, and color.
Once you see this, you're satisfied that the cargo is okay?
What I'm looking at right now, I'm satisfied and I'm going to release this container.
Simply put, there is no room for error. One missed sign and the result could be devastating. It's why many in Congress, including Senator Bob Graham of Florida, want every container screened this way. Right now, less than 5% are.
If they are not detected, that is, lethal items, at the time they get off the boat and are placed on a train or a truck, you're never going to have a chance to catch them again.
For that very reason, the fight to secure America's seaports now extends beyond the shoreline. After September 11th, the Coast Guard expanded its role, assigning teams of sea marshals to patrol U.S. waters.
Here in busy New York Harbor, sea marshals from the Coast Guard keep tabs on every ship entering the port, like this one behind me, tracking the crew, its port of origin, and most importantly, its cargo.
Station New York, Station New York.
Joe Castro has been on the team since 9/11.
We go on board cargo ships or tankers on all hours of the night. We check the passports of the crew members. We muster all the crew into the ship's office or the ship's mess deck where they eat. We match passports with the faces of the people.
In fact, while we were watching, marshals boarded a ship to check it out.
We make sure that the cargo on board is what it is, if not something else. They're not smuggling migrants or smuggling Al-Qaeda members.
Keeping the nation's ports safe and secure is a delicate balancing act, one of trying to stop a hidden threat while keeping the $700 billion a year U.S. shipping industry moving.
We're constantly trying to balance that, and it's one of the things that we've been struggling through as the trade has burgeoned over the years.
So it's imperative that these products that are coming off here are screened, put on the trucks, and are on their way as soon as possible?
Absolutely. That's the blood of the commerce here. Time is money, and these containers really have to move.
And customs officials are quick to point out that they're expecting big changes over the next year when it comes to port security. I'm told new technology is already being tested. And Consuelo, it will be in place sometime next year.
Boy, they do a very important job.
They certainly do.
Thank you, Scott
All right.
Wapner. Well, no matter how hard you try, it's getting harder to protect yourself from ads, even in a movie theater. A little later, we'll tell you why. And coming soon to a portfolio near you, Morningstar's new STAR system, the #1 mutual fund rating system, is changing. We'll explain how that may change the way you invest.
Summer is just around the corner, so get out and explore the great Northwest in a new SUV from Gresham Nissan. This month, get $3,500 off MSRP on every new 2002 Xterra in stock. On or off the road, the Xterra will get you to wherever the fun is. Or get $5,000 off MSRP on every Pathfinder in stock, including a $1,000 manufacturer's rebate. And remember, at Gresham Nissan, they'll pay off any trade. Off I-84, take the Wood Village exit south to Gresham Nissan at 1925 East Powell in Gresham.
I love the smell and taste of food cooked on an open wood fire, and I love my gas grills. Until I added smoke and barbecue, there was something missing. The pellets are a blend of all natural woods. Put some in a foil pouch like this and drop it near the flame. Smoke and barbecue gives that real wood fire flavor. My family loves smoke and barbecue.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and so do my neighbors. I just wish they'd get their own.
Where there's smoke and barbecue, there's real flavor.
Joe Coruscant of Premier Auto Group directs his latest masterpiece at Beaverton Lincoln Mercury.
This scene calls for huge savings of all new Lincolns and Mercury. And action!
2002 Lincoln Blackwoods, $10,000 off MSRP.
Fabulous! Give me more!
A 2002 Lincoln Continental for just $29,995. And 2002 Mercury Villagers, 4 at just $16,995.
Brilliant! I smell Oscar!
Now showing at Beaverton Lincoln Mercury on Canyon Road in Beaverton.
Mayfair strange in the morning light, Mayfair strange in a summer night, Mayfair strangest in the afternoon. Starry Heights.
Yesterday, one of our advisors showed this woman how even if her brother outlives her, she can always be there for him.
The roominess of a minivan, capabilities of an SUV, the ride of a luxury car, conjured up in one innovative package, the 2002 Buick Rendezvous. Buick Rendezvous.
I love this sound.
Get $2,000 cash back on every new Rendezvous.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Consuelo Mack. In this week's Money Matters, it is the Academy Awards for mutual funds. Morningstar's coveted 5-star rating. Since 1985, investment research firm Morningstar has ranked funds on a scale of 1 to 5 stars based on a fund's past performance and risk-adjusted return. But now Morningstar is changing the way it rates funds. And joining us with the details on what it means for you, the investor, is Christine Benz. She is editor of Morningstar Fund Investor. Christine, great to see you.
Hi, Consuelo.
Why are you changing? What was wrong with the old system?
Well, the old system looked at funds within very broad peer groups. So if you were a domestic stock fund, we didn't care if you were a large company growth fund or a small company value fund. We put you in the same group for the purposes of our rating system. And what we found is that investors have just gotten a lot more sophisticated, and they come to us and say that they want a fund of a certain type,
so we wanted to give them the apples-to-apples comparisons that they were asking us for.
So apples to apples means that you've gone to 48 different peer groups with 5-star or, 1 to 5-star allocations within each, which makes the job for investors that much more complicated. Is the added work worth it for us, do you think?
Well, we think it is. The key reason is that we don't want our star rating to be quite as reactive as it was in the past. So when we use the very broad peer groups, what would happen is that if a certain style had been in favor, the style that had been in favor, the funds would go in there and hog all the high star rating.
Like tech did.
Yeah, like tech did and like small cap value is doing right now. So we wanted to help investors avoid chasing performance, which is something that we've seen again and again. Investors want to tend to want to buy into these hot performing funds after they've already had a good run.
So how do we use this new system as investors? How should we approach it?
I think what it is it's a great first screen. So if you come to us and know in advance that you want, say, a good core fund, a large company blend fund, for example, it will help give you a quick snapshot of what the good funds are and which funds aren't so good.
All right. Gainers and losers in this game?
Yeah, I think that the key gainers will be some of these growth funds and the technology-heavy funds, which have really suffered in our star rating system because of their terrible results over the past couple years. You will see a 10% now of, say, the technology group garnering 5 stars. So I see the growth-oriented funds as the gainers. What will be losers will be the value-oriented funds that have been just kind of riding the coattails of a hot asset class, but aren't really standouts among value funds.
All right, Christine, thanks for joining us and explaining the new 5-star system to us.
Thanks, Consuelo.
Christine Benz is Morningstar Fund Advisor, is the editor of Morningstar Fund Advisor. Well, the pick of the week is courtesy of Dick Glazebrook, the managing director for Oppenheimer Capital. His $1.4 billion Oppenheimer Quest Opportunity Fund has a 5-year average annual return of almost 7%, right in line with similar funds. In December, Glazebrook recommended Phillips Petroleum, the company trading about even since then, was supposed to merge with rival Conoco. After a delay, the deal is slated to go through in the next few months. So Glazebrook is holding Phillips because he sees this as a smart merger. But this week, Glazebrook returns to a pick that is an oldie but a goodie, mortgage insurer Freddie Mac.
I'm picking Freddie Mac because I think investors value safe and sound businesses these days, and Freddie Mac insuring home mortgages is about the safest and simplest you can find. Freddie Mac trades at 11 times 03 earnings, 12 times 02 earnings. It's had up earnings increases every year for the past 15 years, as it will this year and next year. Its multiple is down to the lowest level in 10 years. I think it's going to go up.
Now, Glazebrook would sell Freddie Mac if interest rates go up quickly, 1.5 percentage points or so, which would hurt its earnings growth. Next time you buy movie tickets, get ready for something you did not pay for.
I make this look good.
Some scenes are really ads. We'll show you why more and more are popping up on the big screen next.
I hate grapes. Green and purple and seedless. Sure, they taste great. But on a supermarket floor, they can make for nasty slips and falls.
Hi, I'm Al Mangoni, a safety specialist with Liberty Mutual Insurance. There's no reason the supermarket floor should ever be a dangerous place. So we're working on non-slip flooring and other materials to keep you safe.
Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action.
I also hate bananas.
The market goes up. You make money. The market goes down. You make money. It's good to be a Barron's reader. Barron's. News before the market knows. Every week, Barron's scours the investment world for growth opportunities with comprehensive coverage of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, everything that could affect your finances. Use your credit card to subscribe now, and you'll get 17 weeks of Barron's for the price of 13. That's 4 more opportunities to turn money into wealth. Get 17 weeks of Barron's for only $39. That's 4 weeks free. Call now toll-free, 800-863-2700. That's 800-863-2700.
I love the smell and taste of food cooked on an open wood fire, and I love my gas grills. But until I added smoke and barbecue, there was something missing. The pellets are a blend of all natural woods. Put some in a foil pouch like this and drop it near the flame. Smoke and barbecue gives that real wood fire flavor. My family loves smoke and barbecue.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and so do my neighbors. I just wish they'd get their own.
Where there's smoke and barbecue, there's real flavor.
Summer is just around the corner, so get out and explore the great Northwest in a new SUV from Gresham Nissan. This month, get $3,500 off MSRP on every new 2002 Xterra in stock. On or off the road, the Xterra will get you to wherever the fun is. Or get $5,000 off MSRP on every Pathfinder in stock, including a $1,000 manufacturer's rebate. And remember, at Gresham Nissan, they'll pay off any trade. Off I-84, take the Wood Village exit south to Gresham Nissan at 1925 East Powell in Gresham.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Consuelo Mack. So far, it's been a hot summer at the movies. Ticket sales are up about 10% from last year. But moviegoers aren't just getting a film for their $10 ticket. As Jane Wells explains, they're getting commercials.
You know what the difference is between you and me?
In the first Men in Black, Will Smith put on his Ray-Bans and declared,
I make this look good.
he'll look even better next week. That's when the sequel is released, and Luxottica has created new Ray-Bans just for him.
These are the Predator J's that were designed for this film for Will Smith for his character, Agent J.
The company is building a whole ad campaign around the movie, along with Hamilton watches and Rockport shoes, not to mention the new Mercedes.
Does that come standard? Actually, it came with a black dude, but he kept getting pulled over.
But Men in Black has nothing on Minority Report. It has a full 15 different product placements, bringing in a reported $25 million to help make the $100 million movie. There are the Lexus pods that get you around town, and Tom Cruise is driving a Lexus sports car. Who thought all this up? The director, Steven Spielberg.
I've never heard of him.
Spielberg's an expert at making product placement work. 20 years ago, E.T. literally launched Reese's Pieces and changed the attitude of much of corporate America. Suddenly, being part of a movie was no longer taboo. And in fact, advertisers now have the opposite problem.
The arena of product placement has become kind of cluttered. And so what you need is a way to, set yourself apart from the clutter.
Minority Report is hardly the first film about the future. Yet back in the days of Woody Allen's Sleeper, product placement was a gag, not a business strategy. It is increasingly also a strategy for TV. As TiVo boxes cut out commercials, advertisers want to be inside shows instead.
You're seeing things like Mrs. Fields building a promotion around a cookie recipe contest that is actually part of the plot line of a soap opera.
But marrying plot and product doesn't always work. Ozzy Osbourne reportedly approached Diet Pepsi to cut a deal for his MTV show, but was turned down. Maybe because he once got caught drinking Diet Coke, or maybe because he doesn't quite fit the Pepsi slogan for those who think young.
Rock and roll!
Then again, maybe he does. Jane Wells for the Wall Street Journal Report.
The man behind Who Wants to Be a Millionaire may take this one step further. Michael Davies has proposed a show that runs commercial-free, but each episode will work in advertisers' products. And that closes the curtain on this edition of the Wall Street Journal Report. Thanks for joining us. If you are sick of calls from telemarketers, tune in next week. We have tested several devices that promise to disconnect those annoying calls. We'll tell you whether or not they work. And, of course, we'll have the investment pick of the week. Until then, have a great week and make it a productive one.
Summer is just around the corner, so get out and explore the great Northwest in a new SUV from Gresham Nissan. This month, get $3,500 off MSRP on every new 2002 Xterra in stock. On or off the road, the Xterra will get you to wherever the fun is. Or get $5,000 off MSRP on every Pathfinder in stock, including a $1,000 manufacturer's rebate. And remember, at Gresham Nissan, they'll pay off any trade. Off I-84, take the Wood Village exit south to Gresham Nissan at 1925 East Powell in Gresham.
I love the smell and taste of food cooked on an open wood fire, and I love my gas grills. But until I added smoking barbecue, there was something missing. The pellets are a blend of all natural woods. Put some in a foil pouch like this and drop it near the flame. Smoking barbecue gives that real wood fire flavor. My family loves smoking barbecue.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and so do my neighbors. I just wish they'd get their own.